to get into it, finna talk some shit about this Rotten Tomatoes situation, man. Let's jump right into it. This is coming from. Make sure I got the whole thing. Shit, that's a long ass article. Goddamn. I might have to switch articles up. That's a long one, but this one that was coming from Vulture. Let me switch this up, man, because that's too long. Can't be skimming through all of that. Let's see what come up. Here we go. So this will be coming from Screen Crush. It says the company allegedly paid critics for Rotten Tomato reviews.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they paid critics to give them.
Oh no, that wasn't me being shocked for real. That was sarcasm.
Okay. Oh,
that was sarcasm.
That was some look. Let me sign. You sure you're not an actor? You sure? We might need to get you in there, man. We might need to get you in there. But the article says if you use Rotten Tomatoes to decide whether to see a movie, and especially if you use it primarily glancing at film ratings without digging deeper into the individual reviews, the make of the rating, there's a new article out that definitely you should read. It's called The Decomposition of Rotten Tomatoes, and it details how studios and publicists have essentially gamed the Rotten Tomatoes system to ensure that their movies get the best possible scores. And one striking example described in the piece, a publicity firm tried to boost the score of an independent film without a distributor, which is 2018's Ophelia, starring Daisy Ridley, by recruiting obscure, often self-published critics who are nevertheless part of the pool trapped by Rotten Tomatoes. Several anonymous critics told journalist Lane Brown the company in question pays them $50 or more for each review. It's saying that this piece does not make clear whether the critics were told they were free to write whatever they like, but the super nice ones often agreed not to publish bad reviews on the usual websites, but instead quarantined them on smaller blogs that Rotten Tomato never sees. Whether that tactic was effective or not, Ophelia's Rotten Tomato scores did eventually flip from a rotten 46% to a barely fresh 62%. The movie was ultimately acquired for distribution and released in the United States. Now, me reading that's just letting me, that don't sound as harsh. You know what I'm saying? A little payola on the independent side. You got to do what you got to do on the independent side. I understand that. No, you do. As somebody who does music, you want to try, especially when you don't get the same look that somebody with the Warner Brothers backing or Disney backing or a Paramount backing or something like that would get. So I understand saying, hey man, you go, take this little 50 piece and hook a brother up. I get it. But I'm not saying it's right, because this is on a small scale. So me reading that's more on the smaller scale. But now when I hear that, I also hear Disney. I also hear Warner Brothers. I also hear Paramount. I also hear Universal. I also hear all these other companies not saying, here, take a 50 piece. I hear them saying, hey, here go a couple thousand.
Here goes some thousands.
Right. Here goes some thousands.
Make the Barbie movie sound amazing.
Right. Make it sound like this the next best thing since sliced bread. You know what I mean?
But
go ahead,
say all that, I don't normally follow the critic score because of crap like this.
Right.
Because I know that the critics are often paid by studios to make their movies, hey, I'm gonna slide you 2 G's. You know what I'm saying? Make a Evil Dead Rise sound like it's the greatest movie ever. Okay. Cool. I can do that. This is normally why I follow the audience score, because the audience score is always gonna be true. Like real people who aren't getting paid to tell you about movies are going to be more honest with you than people who get paid to tell you about movies.
Right. That's the simple point blank period.
But even if you go and look at the quote unquote critics, it'd be from like my mom, I still live in my mom's basement.com. How are you a critic?
It does. I wonder the same thing. I'm like, shit, I need the you know what I'm saying? Where can I get the critic badge of honor so they can take my critique from? You know what I'm saying?
Like these ain't even real critics that are like, I mean, I ain't gonna say all of them not real there are real critics, you know what I'm saying? Like that, right, for for like Rolling Stone and things like that. But if you go and actually look at the critics that's on Rotten Tomatoes, it's literally people in there that's like, yeah, I still live in my mama's basement.com. Well, how did you become a critic?
Yeah, just foolish. I'm wondering how to, because I wouldn't mind shit. Can I get the credentials to be the critic? You know, be a critic, and I give my thing, and I'm with you. I look more at the audience score. And
Right, me
then
too.
I look at the audience score, and then I look at the critic score, and I'm like, these, you know, if they kind of close, I say, okay,
But
whatever.
we noticed
I
that
feel
with,
confident in that.
but we noticed that with a lot of movies, like with, I think with, was it the Super Mario Brothers movie?
Yeah,
Oh no, was it Super
it
Mario
was
Brothers
Super
movie?
Mario Brothers. The critics didn't like
Yeah,
it. Mm-hmm.
the critics bombed that movie, right?
Right.
I can't
Mm-hmm.
remember. That's
They
right.
didn't make it rotten. It wasn't rotten, but you know, we can pull it up. We'll pull it up.
Because I know there's been some movies where the critic score was like 34%, and then the audience score was like 97. How?
Right. It's weird. It's weird. I don't get it. So okay. Yeah. So the critics gave it a 59%. That's where it's standing at now. And the audience gave it a 95%.
See, right there.
So,
But we're also talking about critics who did not grow up in the Nintendo generation. They were already most of these critics are already older. Let's use that term. They're older. They didn't play Nintendo. They didn't play Super Mario Brothers. That's what I'm saying. Like, why are we still taking advice from people who is like, I wish it would go back to the olden days? Sit your old ass down.
Right. If it's critics still, you got to be old if you ain't played if you wasn't Nintendo came up, that was 81, 82, right? At least 84, 85. So if you were an adult in 85, that would put you in the 60, 70 age range. You shouldn't be critiquing Super Mario Brothers anyway.
Exactly.
You shouldn't be critiquing that anyway. But then again, even with you saying that, if it's a good movie, it's a good movie.
But see, if you read the comments or you read their critiques on Rotten Tomatoes, it's like, this is a boring movie. This has no ties to Nintendo. And I'm like, it has all the ties to Nintendo. What are you talking about? What movie did you watch? Did you get the bootleg version?
So I'm gonna read one of the critics. Is this a critic? Yeah, I'm gonna read the top critic score.
He from like AmazonBabes.com.
So now this is the top dude, John Wings from the Chicago Reader. He's a top critic. He got the star by his name, right? Among the many errors of Super Mario Brothers movie, screenwriter Matthew Fogel plops him and his brother Luigi in a milquetoast Brooklyn family that doubts them and disrespects their small business dreams. Let me see. Oh, this is shit. He got an actual article.
Yeah, their articles linked to it.
Who cares? Boring stuff. Get to the action. Don't try to make these guys more real, because that was never the point. The more human the brothers and the Princess Peach are made to be, the more dull. Let them fight. Let them fly. When the movie focuses on this, it's fun. A movie that only focuses on this, closer to YouTubeable speed drums than paint by numbers, IP origin, story chum would be better. So they just want. I don't know how old this dude is, John Wings.
He just wanted to get straight to the action, like you playing a video game. Like, you don't want no backstory.
But the game, even the regular back game, had a little bit of back game. The original old game had a little bit of backstory to it. He was trying to get the prince. He had to save the princess. That's backstory.
No, I could tell that this Joker never watched the Super Mario Brothers cartoon show.
Right.
Because that gave us the backstory that Mario and Luigi were actual plumbers living in Brooklyn, New York.
I damn sure didn't know that shit until the cartoon.
Right.
What I knew from Super Mario was Donkey Kong.
That's it.
Right. And then Mario Brothers came out. That's the same dude. And like you said, that other than that, or Super Mario Brothers 2 actually tried to give a little story also. But I hated that game.
Yeah, it wasn't that great. Now Super Mario Brothers 3?
Now 3? Yeah.
Good move. I mean, good game.
Right. Now we rocking. But yeah,
you could tell like he never like you could tell he just expanded on just the video game itself, and
Right.
there was more to the Mario Brothers than just the video game. If you ever
Mhm.
watched the cartoon, you knew Mario and Luigi's backstory.
Right.
You knew that
Fresh
they
Sense.
they didn't live in the Mushroom Kingdom the whole time. They
Nah,
transported
they
back and
came
forth.
back and forth. Fresh says, I don't pay attention to the critics. I watch for myself, which is the best thing to do. Always
Facts.
get your own opinion of something. Don't let the critics sway you or pull you in. Use it as a tool and a guide. That's it. If you're gonna go see the movie, don't let the critics. If critics say, "Man, this shit is trash," don't be like, "Oh, well, the critic says trash. I ain't going to see it." If you want to go see that shit, go see it. You know what I'm saying? Because you will lose out on a good movie all because a critic got paid $50.
Shout out to you. I still live in my mom's basement.com.
Yeah, shout out to you. Hey, get your money, man. Like I said, I understand shelling out the money to get my movie in the limelight or to get a little bit of traction going. I understand it. Don't mean that it's right. I think I look at, because I don't just go to Rotten Tomatoes though. I look at, like, I look at Google. I look at what's my other, IMDb. I look at it's movie.com, I think is one.
There's
And
another
Yahoo.
one. Yeah.
I like Yahoo. Oh, is it Cinema something? Cinema. But I try to look at all of them. I read through, you know what I'm saying, and just judge for myself. If I really want to see it, I'll go see it. And I think that's how it should be. But I
Right.
do
Or
think this is. Go ahead. You go
you
ahead.
could be like me, go read the plot on Wikipedia and then make a decision.
Yeah, if you want to. Some people, it hurts them to go and do that, but some people don't mind it.
I feel like it's like reading a book.
A novelization, if you will.
Yes.
But let me see. Is there any more to this? It says the piece does not make clear that these critics. I already read that part. No, here. That might be the most eyebrow-raising example in Vulture's article, but the whole thing is full of other ways, some sketchier than others, that film companies seek to goose their Rotten Tomato ratings however they can. The main way they do it, by controlling which critics see which movies and when, in order to ensure a movie score is as high as possible for as long as possible, especially around the time when a blockbuster's pre-sale is about to launch. One thing that I don't like is Jacksonville used to have a lot of screenings. Early screenings. Don't get them as much.
Because y'all critics don't write good stuff on Rotten Tomatoes.
And maybe that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Maybe this area, certain areas don't get the screenings because they might actually tell the truth. Shit. You know what I mean? Maybe they actually tell the truth of, nah, this ain't it. Or, you know what I'm saying? Or this is it. And when you coming from a place that has no corporate backing attached to it, ain't nobody paying the $50 because don't nobody want to come down to Duval and,
nobody reads the Florida Times Union.
Right. So, or Folio magazine or anything like that. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's exactly what it is. But I think that's a bad, because when you're picking and choosing who can come to listen to your music or view your movie, and you're not getting a good sample size, right, of regular Joes or regular people, then yeah, you can't trust that. If Diane Sawyer is always doing an interview, can I really trust? You know what I'm saying?
Like, right.
let somebody else do it. Let somebody else get that interview. I'm not saying that Diane Sawyer do a bad job or whoever it is that y'all picking and choosing to do the interview, but give me Diane Sawyer, give me Whoopi, give me Mika G, give me Blue, and give me somebody, a Joy Reid. I don't know, just Roland Martin. Just give me you know what I'm saying, a whole cornucopia. I like that word, a whole cornucopia of reviewers and critics and stuff like that. And I think it'll work better. Yeah. That's what I think. Anything you want to add to the Rotten Tomatoes?
Get it together, Rotten Tomatoes.
Get it together.
Well, actually, they're not to blame. They're not to blame. Get it together, movie production companies.
To me, they are to blame, because who's doing who's allowing it? Damn well, if a critic score is 90s and the audience score is in the 13s, 20s, damn well something going on.
Facts.
And I don't want to, a lot of times they'll be like, oh, it was bombed by the the audience bombed it because it was woke, or the audience bombed it because it was a trans person in it, or it was like, nah, sometimes to me, if the people who come to see the movie, if it's, let's say it's 100 people and 90% of those people didn't like the movie for whatever, and then they come up with an excuse to say because it was a gay scene in it, then those 90% of those people didn't like the gay scene.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that doesn't make their opinion any less valid than anybody else's.
Exactly.
Because
I'm still gonna go see it.
No, I'm just saying as far as how they try to
try to pin it. They're like, oh yeah, the reason why I bond is because people went and flooded Rotten Tomatoes.
But that is why it bombed. You know what I'm saying? Like if it bombed because of that, own up to it. It bombed because of that. That's what I'm getting at.
It is what it is.
If the people is telling you, nah, this shit, we ain't with it. 10 people like it, but 90 people don't. And majority of those 90 people are telling you, you know, that gay scene or that lesbian scene, hell, even or just the sex scene in general, it really had nothing to do with the movie and it kind of threw me off. Then, you know what I'm saying? There it is. Shit. We don't need next time, no sex scene in it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Not,
right.
Oh man, here come the bigots. Yeah, here come the bigots. Here come the homophobes. Here come the transphobes. Here come the yada yada yada. These niggas watch movies too. They pay for it.
True.
They probably pay for it more than anybody else. But you know, it is what it is. This last piece, for example, the piece notes that the first batch of reviews for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania came out of its earliest reviews from critics gave it a Rotten Tomato score of 79%, just as tickets for the Marvel film were going on sale. By the time the movie opened in theaters, more critics had seen it, and the rating dropped to 46% after. See, that's, to me, that's telling. That means that you wouldn't have got the people who would give it a favorable review right before the movie come out.
Mm-hmm.
Then when the real critics get to go see it after they done paid their $20, they gonna tell you the real, because they didn't get to see it for free.
Fact. And that's probably the problem. Like they're probably like, oh, you didn't invite me to the screening? I'm about to bomb this movie. I'm about to bomb your movie.
You're gonna get the real deal. You're gonna get the real deal.
I'm really gonna be a critic now. Since you don't want to let me go for free. You want to let me go for the low.
Like, damn, I ain't getting no invite, no email saying show up here, yada yada yada. Now I gotta pay my $20. Okay.
If I gotta pay $20, okay. Pew,
yep, straight down. And now I really don't like it. Oh no, it's 10%.
All the way. One.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, one. Don't like it.
One.
Don't like it. But yeah, you got anything else you want to add? No. Rotten Tomatoes.
Splat on Rotten Tomatoes. Splat.
Yeah, splat. Critics do better, and companies, PR firms, whoever's out here doing payola, do better, man. Or email me, you know, give me a little something on the side.
You know what?
Give Mika a little. Mika would like some new art supplies for her, you know, skates and things of that nature. Holla at us, man. Holla, holla, holla.
I cannot.
Holla, 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 holla.
I can't.